Fantastic Mr. Fox by Ronald Dahl, adapted by Bria S. Once upon a time, there were 3 farmers, August, Bunce, and Maine. One fat, one short, one lean. These farmers were nesting in Maine. In a valley, there was a family of foxes. There was a mother, a father, and 4 small children, each named Mr. Fox as Mrs. Fox. What shall be tonight, my darling? When Mr. Fox popped out of his hole, the mean farmers tried to shoot him. Bang! Mr. Fox's tail got shot off, but he's still okay. The farmers are gonna try to dig them out. The farmers started by trying to dig them out with sharp shovels, but they outdug them. They used huge, noisy tractors. It was close. The farmers almost got them. Farmers and foxes were in a race. The farmers are still trying to dig out the foxes, but the foxes are getting tired, and the hole is getting smaller and smaller by the minute. The foxes are now starving. The children are begging for food, and Mrs. Fox is getting very weak and weary. The farmers are bribing the foxes with chicken. The foxes have been there for 3 days and 3 nights. The farmers are getting impatient. Then Mr. Fox has a plan. The 4 foxes and Mr. Fox are digging in a special direction. The foxes now reached a wooden floorboard that leads to Box's chicken house number 1. They popped out and saw a glorious sight. Then Mr. Fox told the biggest fox to bring the chickens back to Mrs. Fox to tell her to prepare a feast. When the biggest fox got back to Mrs. Fox, she thought she was dreaming. That she didn't think the chickens were real. She opened one eye and closed it again. The little fox's mother, "You aren't dreaming. The chickens are real. Dad said to tell you to prepare a feast. A feast that won't bite," cried Mrs. Fox. And as they were digging some more, the hole formed in the top of the tunnel. Out popped Badger. "Foxy!" cried Badger. "Badger!" cried Mr. Fox. "Long time no see." The fox told his little Badger to say that he invited all the diggers. The tunnel was going in a terrific pace now that Badger was lending a paw. Soon they came to another floorboard on the roof of the tunnel. Mr. Fox lifted up the floorboard and revealed the contents of the room to the other animals. This room was Bunce's giant storehouse. The group took some ducks, geese, ham, bacon, and carrots. The carrots were for the rabbits, of course. Soon they came to As the group were digging, they reached a stone wall in the ground. Now, why would somebody dig a wall in the ground? There was something behind the wall. It was the rat. The rat's name was Rat. "Go away! It's private." But they went inside anyway. They looked at the giant, glorious cider. They took someone. "Someone's coming! Hide!" There was a tall, fat woman. The woman almost grabbed the jar Mr. Fox was hiding behind. Her name was Maybelle. Mrs. Bean shouted, talking about Mr. Fox's tail got shot off. Then Mabel went back off, and then they went back to their hole. When they got back to the hole, their mouth dropped open, and they began a feast. Some people did a toast to Mr. Fox and Badger. What happened to the farmers? Well, let's say they're still waiting for Mr. Fox and the foxes.